Hey guys, it is ChucksTopGaming here, and today I decided to do a video about landing my Mun lander with an actual crew by the Monarch that we established in episode 1 by planting a flag there. So we're going to put a crew there, mainly to have someone to blame if something goes wrong on our Mun base. This is essential. That's really why the Kerbals have Kerbals in space. They don't really need them. They can do pretty much everything with a probe, but they do need someone to blame if something goes wrong at mission control. So they've all signed their Kerbal waivers, and you can see we're just going into a basic orbit. I do not get enough velocity for the altitude. Normally I'd have a lot more, but this rocket was a little faster than I expected, so had some trouble there. But that's all right because it's fixed in the end. Because I restart, so try to get a little more velocity for that height. So here we go again. So yeah, we're just putting a crew on the Mun to pilot our rovers that we're gonna launch. All sorts of stuff we're gonna have there. So once again, trying to get into orbit. Should already be turned over by now to get more velocity. Turn over a little late. I should have turned over probably about 40,000 meter apopsis, but ended up turning over at like 70,000, which is not great. So I do go for 110 just to get as much velocity as I can, and it ends up working in the end. So now we're warping to our apopsis of 110,000 meters, I believe, about there. And we're just going to go for an orbit right around in there. It might not be perfect because of my new engine design. Not my new engine design. The new part that lets you add 4 pieces to the bottom of the stack, as you can see. I guess it's called the stack. I don't know. I'm not sure, but there it is. You can see those 4 LVT-45 thrust vectoring engines, and that is a great engine. It doesn't have as much power as the Skipper, I don't think, or even, I mean, especially not the mainsail, of course. But I do like the amount of thrust it has. It seems fitting, and the fuel efficiency is an added plus. So let's get on over to the moon. Typically, my orbital stage does not get me this far, and so that's why I'm liking this part, because it seems to be a lot more fuel efficient than other previous parts before the 0.21 update. So here we are. We're just burning retrograde to get into a nice low landing orbit. So not sure what we're doing here. We're just trying to adjust our orbit to be more along the equator of the Mun, and that way we can land at the Monarch. Spoilers. If you don't want to see it, leave now, because we are landing there. So we're adjusting our flight path / trajectory for the flag that we have placed. We do have another ship in orbit from episode 1. That's the ship that placed the flag. Just a small landing vessel with a crew of 1. Oh, remember in 0.21, you gotta add nuclear power or some solar panels or something, because now everything costs power, even little maneuvers. And I'm just time warping from the another ship I have to increase the time warp. And so here we are back at our ship that we're trying to land, and we're gonna lower the orbit much more for a landing. The problem is that we don't lower the apopsis, and we start to go up right about the time we're supposed to land, which is annoying, but not hard to fix. And you can see I was kind of getting a little worried there, because it looked like we were going so fast, and then I switched to the other camera mode, and I'm just like, oh, it's fine. That orbital camera, that messes with my head. I don't know why. It looks like we're going way faster every time I use it. I burn maybe a little late here, but it does fix itself. So I'm just kind of thinking while I pause. It turned out fine though, because you can see I do get pretty close, and then I can just kind of hover on over to the designated landing zone. That flag is exactly on the Monarch, so it's actually exactly on it. The problem here is, once again, I'm thinking about the craters. The craters, for some reason, your camera can clip through the craters, and it makes it look a little flatter than it is. And I have a problem with this because as I come down, I think things are a little more level than they are, which I would have made that mistake without the glitch. But then you'll see. Remember, this is accelerated 4 times, so everything's much slower to me and looks very different. I'm coming in, and then my camera clips through the surface at some point. I think it's right about in here. Yeah, and I think that it's flat, but it's not at all. So I have to hover over here into the flat zone, but we're still within like 2 kilometers of the Monarch, which is perfectly acceptable. Well within EVA distance and rover distance. So there's our landing, and we now have a crew by the Monarch. So we have someone to blame if something goes wrong. Thanks for watching. This is ChucksTopGaming, episode 2. ChucksTopGaming out.